Listen, I'm going to ask you the hard questions today, the questions that you don't necessarily even want to fathom and talk about, because they're going to force you to make a very difficult decision. They're going to force you to come out of cognitive dissonance that you have right now about email and content marketing. Now, you know I'm Tiffany Garside, 9-year retention marketing specialist who has helped her clients generate 31.9 million in revenue and counting. And you know what? I was talking about a contract the other day with a tech firm. Now, these companies, I'm telling you, there is money out here to be made. A lot of people think the economy is butchered. They think AI is killing consulting opportunities. They think business is more difficult, but that is just not what I've been seeing across the line. I realized one of my clients generates now 10 billion, yes, $10 billion in revenue. They are an AI tech company. We worked on sales and marketing emails, retention, and analytics. But here's what I want to tell you. If you are going to treat your business like a side hustle for 2026 to 2030, you are going to be in the same place by 2030 that you are right now. If you are unwilling to understand the fact that there is a level to email marketing and a cadence and a language to email that you do not yet understand, you will be in the same place in the next 3 to 4 years. And let me tell you the best way I can help you understand this analogy to make it make sense in your brain. That email marketing itself is a specific language. I want you to imagine email marketing as a country. Now, I'm a digital nomad. I've been abroad for going on 6 years with my business. My business has opened so many doors to get international residence permits, all the things, okay? But in 2020, I went to Tanzania. Before I went to Tanzania, I studied the culture, the language, and how people interacted. So what would be taboo to them, what would not be taboo to them. Now imagine you email your list and you're like, well, I have strong emails. Our message is strong because I'm articulate. Maybe I have a master's, a bachelor's. Maybe I've worked with a lot of clients and I'm super articulate, right? But you also say, hey, somehow my emails aren't driving engagement. So you start to doubt and say, does email marketing even work? Is this even a thing? Like, how are people signing clients nonstop and getting clients in all seasons? I'm going to challenge you and tell you, because I know this 99.9% after working with 257 businesses, your message is not as strong as you think. Because you are speaking a language that your subscribers do not understand. Email in itself, unlike other platforms, it doesn't have an algorithm, but it still has its own rhythm, its own cadence, its own flow. Another example is the fact that I told one of my copywriters the other day, make sure when you write subject lines, they're not too long. Subject lines that are too long are not going to stop the scroll in the inbox. People will not necessarily read it. It's just going to blend in. Make the subject lines a little bit shorter so that they give that white space so that someone's eyeballs are drawn to that message and can decide if they want to read and open that email, okay? Now back to Tanzania. The first word that I learned in Tanzania happened to be my favorite word, kahawa. Kahawa means coffee. So I learned my favorite word in Swahili, which is the language of Tanzania, because I was going there. I was going to live there with my children. My children speak Swahili, all of those things. But imagine if I would have gone to that country and not understood the culture, not understood the language, not understood what's taboo. I would not have matched the moment, and I would have had complaints like, oh, it's really not that great here when I don't understand what I'm getting into. Email marketing is the same way. You need to research to understand the language before you assume that email cannot work for you, and before you assume that your emails are strong, because if they were strong, they would generate revenue. But the fact that they don't generate revenue, they don't generate enough engagement, is proof that they're not as strong as you think. So you need to reorient your mind and understand, okay, what is it that I don't understand about email marketing that could make this better? What is it that I'm doing that's probably not a true best practice? This is the thing about email that's different than social as well. Email actually comes with a lot of rules. If you say free in your subject line, if you say buy now, if you use certain words that are on the spam filter list, your emails will hit spam. So that's one reason that you may not be seeing the engagement that you want to see. Number two, what are your calls to actions like? Are they creative? Do you have a copywriting vault filled with 20 different creative calls to actions that you can plug and play and A/B test the way that I do for my small and large clients? Because it doesn't really matter the business size. Email marketing works for every single business. It's just, do you know how to make it work? Are you an email marketing expert who can write and make it work? Do you even know how to write copy? When you show up, for example, with one of my clients, we did a VIP day. I had her show and share her screen to show me her email service provider, because she said, I don't know what's wrong with my emails. I'm writing them all the time. I'm sending them all the time. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, well, let's just take a look. Just share your screen. Show me what your emails look like. Show me how long they are, what the subjects are like, what the calls to actions are like. Show me what's going on. And so she pulls the emails out, and all of the emails are strong, right? They're well written for corporate. They have a lot of education in them, but not all of email marketing is education. They were also very, very long, like 600 words, 500 words in every single email. Every single email does not need to read like a blog. You need to understand the different phases. There's a time for education in your email list, but then there's also a time for follow-up reminders. Then there's also a time for sales psychology. Then there's also a time for storytelling and relatability. And some of that copy needs to be short. So you need to differentiate and say, okay, on these days, maybe I'll write longer pieces, but on these other days, I'm gonna have to write something shorter and wrap it up. Don't be so long-winded with your writing. And I get this, it's very difficult to wrap your mind around if you are not a copywriter. If you're not a copywriter, you have not probably mastered the art of getting a message to be brief. But this is key, because decisions are made when messages are clear and brief. There's a clear value proposition. There's a clear, hey, this is what I'm getting, or hey, this is what I'm missing out on. And the call to action is thought-provoking enough to get someone to take action. That's what's necessary for email marketing. And so before you assume email does not work for your list, or something's wrong, or email just doesn't function for you, it probably would function for you if you would get a real email expert in there to assist you in writing the emails. If you would get a real copywriter in there to assist you in writing the emails like these that I've written right here, you can pause and look at this screen so that you understand how emails are supposed to be written, because there is an art and a science to it. People assume, well, I'm in corporate, or I have a lot of knowledge, I'm just gonna teach in every single email. And that's not all the time what people want to see. One time they may just want to see an email from you that says, I appreciate that you're here, with you being heartfelt and conscientious about why you're glad that they are there on the journey with you. Some days they may not want to be educated like they're being talked to. They just may want to understand a quick snippet so they can think about it and regurgitate that through the day and remember it. Because again, when you are processing and giving someone too much information, just like on a sales call, if somebody just gives you too much information, your brain is not going to make a decision. You're like, pause, I can't even make a decision. I don't even know everything you just said. I'm just wanting to get off of this call so I can figure out what's going on. You do not want to have that effect in your email marketing, and you do not have to have that effect once you identify that it's an issue. So it's time for you to start measuring your emails, measuring what's working. Let's be honest. Look at your emails the last 45 days. What is the average length of your emails? What are your top 5 calls to action? Are you using the same calls to action? Are you using a call to action at all? Are you using the PS in that email to get a call to action? Are you reverting people to a blog or a white paper sometimes and not just saying, buy this, click here, do this? Do you have additional resources to support the email marketing that you are doing? Or are you just sending messages and then hoping somebody will buy with your fingers crossed, like hopefully it works this time? You need to have a structured cadence. Now, I was talking about a tech contract, and they will just tell you up front, hey, we have a 90-day cadence that we're doing. We want emails to go with SMS, to go with our blog, to go with our white papers that we're sending out. And so they're sending this out on a 90-day cadence. Businesses that are going to dominate in 2030 and beyond understand, whether they're small or large, because I have small clients that understand this as well, and they book sales in all seasons. They're willing to show up every single day across a multitude of platforms. They are planning things in 90-day segments. They're not saying, can I have a 5-email sequence? Can I have a 3-email sequence to just test the waters? They understand in marketing, there's no such thing as test the waters. In marketing, it's either you're all in or you're all out. Because for someone to ever make a buying decision from you, they have to go through the full buyer's journey, the full sequence. They have to go through all the 22 to 35 touch points. And it's even more so in the age of AI and the age where everybody's on social media, more people are using email. So you are going to have to decide if you want to be more consistent with email or not. Is that something you're willing to do? Are you willing to look back the last 45 days and say, okay, what's happening with my subject lines? Are you testing them against the best subject lines that are out there? This is something every copywriter does. Anybody that's a real copywriter has a vote of winning subject lines at any given time. This is how copywriters and marketing directors know what's going to work and what's not going to work, because they're always pulling from data from various industries to see what has worked in the past. Do you have that kind of vote? Are you measuring your email list, your open rates, your click rates, your click to open rates? A lot of people don't know about that metric. It's actually a better indicator of how many people are clicking. It's a fraction based on the clicks relative to the opens, not relative to all emails delivered. The clicks that are relative to the opens is going to give you a better gauge of how engaged your subscribers are. So your click to open rate is typically going to be a bit higher than your click rate if your email list is healthy. It should be. It could be 2.1%, 5.6%. Some people, it could be 7.9%. Click relative to open rate. Okay, because you don't want to necessarily bring in the data from cold subscribers all the time. You can go from the warm segment of your list and analyze and see, okay, how many people are opening from this warm side of the list? That's why segmentation is there. But we will have to save segmentation for a different video. We're going to save segmentation for a different video, because this video will be twice as long if we then get into how you can segment your list and all the different ways of doing that and the purpose of doing that. And so your key takeaway is literally asking yourself on a piece of paper right now, am I willing to measure what has worked on my email list in the last 45 days? Now, if you look at your email list and you realize in the last 45 days you've barely sent any emails, you maybe sent 4 to 8 emails, then that's your answer why email doesn't work for you. If you look at the last 45 days and most of your emails are 600 words and they're too corporate-y, they're too stuffy, they sound like somebody is a college professor talking to another college professor, that's your answer right there why email marketing is not working for you. And so you have a creative writing issue. You have a copy issue. You have a sales writing issue. There is a science and an art to sales. Just like I was telling you with a junior copywriter, telling them, hey, do not write emails that are super long, or at least I should say subject lines that are super long. They're not going to get opened. Do you know what gets opened? How to get things clicked? There is a language that you need to understand. Same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with Instagram. I've been on Instagram since the literal foundation of my business and signed clients from Instagram because I know the language that's required on Instagram. Same thing with LinkedIn. I just updated my profile and I have all of these tech contract people reaching out to me, large firms that I'm even shocked, like, wow, these guys are pretty big. But I step up to the moment and they come in my LinkedIn messages and say, hey, are you available to do this contract? We need an email marketing specialist. We need somebody who's an expert. Because the vast majority of people out there just don't understand what it takes to be successful with email. Again, if you want to see what this looks like in action, I'm teaching you, but I'm not showing you. You're going to want to look at my portfolio. I have case studies, blogs, all of this on my website, www.tiffygwrites.ai or www.tiffygwrites.co. Both websites have blogs, case studies, all the things that you would need to know so that you can begin to understand and even fathom how to properly email your audience in 90-day segments and 120-day segments. Thinking in, okay, 12-month marketing strategy segments. If you have been thinking of your marketing strategy in 2-week increments, 30-day increments, or even worse, 3 to 7 day increments, this is why email is not working for you. This is why you feel like sales doesn't work. You are touching the tip of the iceberg. You're not even all the way there yet. You're really just dabbling on top, hot, cold, kind of like, does marketing work? Does email marketing work? How do people make sales? You haven't even fully got there yet. Once you fully get there and you execute a 90-day email marketing strategy, then you have enough data to analyze and say, oh, these were our top 3 performers over 90 days. Now I know my next 90 days, I'm going to be able to double and triple sales because I'm only focusing on these core areas. This can only be accomplished once you are doing the thing. So it's time to decide if you are willing to do the thing, because it's a decision that I can't make for you. But myself personally, I've been doing the thing. I email my list 3 to 7 times per week, every single week. Whether I'm having another copywriter come in and do it for me, or whether I'm doing it myself. My clients, some of my clients, they order 40 emails from me every month for 18 months straight. That's the difference between who wins with email marketing and who does not win. I'll see you in the next video. Follow me on Instagram as well, at Tiffy G Writes on LinkedIn, Tiffy G Writes on Facebook, Tiffy G Writes. It's just Tiffy G Writes over here.